Mr. Reinhardt, what caused the financial crisis and the collapse in 2008?
Ethics, the absence of ethics by all kinds of people involved. The financial crisis, it was started out in the 90s with an invention that Wall Street came up with called the subprime mortgage industry. Wall Street found that there were a lot of homes in America, people with difficult credit challenges. After all, unemployment's been fairly high in this country for a very long period of time. But Wall Street determined they would rewrite the lending laws, provided they could get an insurance company that would insure all the loans that were made. They convinced the insurance company that these were going to be good, solid loans to good, hardworking Americans that maybe have just hit a few challenges. Wall Street had to get this money out. What Wall Street did was they went to some intermediary people, and they would give each one of them $100 million. Those intermediary people would come to people like me and give me $20 million. Now the hook to all of this was I had to loan that $20 million every month, every 30 days. If I didn't have that money loaned, there were penalties to be paid, and people were going to start losing money. That's not what we were in this for. We were in it to make money. That $20 million was given to me, and I had to pack it out into the streets. I had 300 loan officers doing that. At this point in time in the industry, when it got difficult to loan money, Wall Street would just rewrite the rules, and they would make it easier to loan the money, believing that everybody would be ethical. Well, my job as a mortgage broker to get that money out in the streets was to get my salespeople to find the homes and find people that had the need to get the money. In getting this done, the mortgage brokers would be charged with getting the documentation necessary to secure the loan. Things like employment verification notices. The employment verifications were supposed to be sent to the employer to fill out. Most oftentimes they were handed to the customer to fill out, and they would fill it out as they saw fit. Nobody would check to see, because Wall Street, all they cared about was getting the loans out. They really didn't care about the paperwork, because after all, they had an insurance company that was securing the loan. So the insurance company ultimately was securing a loan in which they had no idea of what the underwriting standards were. The appraisers were brought into this because many times homes that were valued at $90,000, we had to have a value of $95,000 or $100,000. In order to get that, the mortgage broker would, for lack of a better word, strong-arm the appraiser into inflating that value. The appraiser's working for himself. If he didn't want to do it, the mortgage broker would just say, fine, we'll use a different appraiser. That made the appraisers get pretty aggressive on valuing the homes. The entire real estate organization got caught up in it as well, because it was the realtor's best interest that the value of the home be inflated as well. So the realtors would do whatever they could to jack the comps up, to push the values up. The appraisers would support it. The mortgage brokers would do whatever they could to create the paperwork needed to make it look like there was a good loan and a good customer. And Wall Street, they just took it, and they didn't have a problem with it, because after all, they had an insurance company that would back it and secure it all. Now in 2008, that bubble reached its point of bursting. And when it burst, the insurance company turned to the U.S. government, and the U.S. government bailed it out. When they did that, they bailed out a capitalist organization that was built on the theories of capitalism, and then it was supported by a socialist attitude at government, thereby making us all complicit in the most unethical industry ever seen.